All right, you guys, so let's try this again. I'm going to do 2 examples in one video, and I'll do 2 more examples in another video. All right, so we have 2 points. So -3, 1, and 3, -1. All right, and we need to write the equation of a line. So we need our slope formula, which you have already learned and already worked with. So m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And then we need our point slope formula that we learned last week. So y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So I'm going to use both of these formulas, okay, to write the equation of a line because I've been given 2 points, all right? So what it is that I need to know what m equals, okay? I know what x1 and y1 are because if I just go x1, y1, x2, y2, all right, I already know what m, or not m, I know what x1 is, I know what y1 is, but I need to plug in m, and I don't have that here, but I can find it, okay? So I'm going to use my slope formula first. That's my first step. So this is step number 1. All right, so m equals, all right, y2, -1 minus y1, which is 1, and then y2, 3 minus -3. And we've been practicing that. If you have 2 negatives, it becomes a plus. All right, so -1 minus 1 is -2. 3 plus 3 is 6. So that simplifies to -1/3. Okay, so that's my m. All right, so now I have my m, I have my x1 and my y1. So I'm going to write the formula. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. All right, and just like last week, I'm going to plug in the information here, here, here. All right, so y1 is 1. M, we just found it, -1/3. And x1 is -3. Okay, now I'm going to bring down the rest of the information just like we did. So y minus equals parentheses x minus parentheses. Okay, we have 2 negatives here again. So I'm going to make that a plus. All right, so now I need to distribute. So I get y minus 1 equals, this one's easy, -1/3 times x, -1/3 x. All right, now I need to do -1/3 times 3. You can use Desmos, or you can do it by hand. I'm going to do times 3 over 1. So -1 times 3 is -3. 3 times 1 is 3. So that equals -1. Okay, so -1/3 times 3 equals -1. All right, now, okay, I can't leave it y minus 1. Y has to be by itself. So I'm going to add 1 to both sides. So I get y equals, bring down the -1/3 x, and -1 plus 1, that equals 0. So I could write plus 0 here. Okay, I'll do that in pencil. I could write plus 0, but I don't need to. So I'm just going to erase that. Okay, which means this answer is done. All right, so if I go over here to Delta Math, y equals, okay, -1 over 3. And then I'm going to put my x off to the side, submit my answer, and I got my green check. Now, same thing in my last video, I told you this work is different. So you're not going to want to use the work in Delta Math. That's why I didn't even assign the video. You want to use my videos on how to do the problems. All right, so let's do another one, and then I'll record another video. All right, so I'm going to do the same thing. I have the points -2, -7, and then I have the points -1, -3. All right, so first step is my slope formula. Then my second step is the point slope formula. All right, so I'm going to label these up. x1, y1, x2, y2. Okay, so I'm going to find the slope. So m equals y2, so -3 minus -7 over -1 minus -2. Okay, y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. All right. Okay, again, I've got these double negatives, so they become plus signs. Okay, -3 plus 7 is 4. -1 plus 2 is 1. So my slope is 4. Okay, now these problems are going to be super easy if your slope is not a fraction. Okay, so that's okay. So you're going to have to be comfortable switching between problems that might be slightly more difficult because they have a fraction, and then problems that are going to be really super easy because they don't have a fraction. Okay, all right, so now I'm going to take that point slope formula. So y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Okay, I'm going to plug in y1, so -7. I'm going to plug in m. I'm going to scoot this up in a minute. And then x1, -2. Okay. All right, and bring down the rest of the information. So bring down the y minus equals parentheses x minus, close the parentheses. All right. Okay, I have a negative here, so I'm going to make that a plus. I have a negative here. I'm going to make that a plus. Okay. All right, I'm going to distribute. So I get y plus 7 equals 4x, 4 times x, and then 4 times 2 plus 8. All right, I cannot leave it as y plus 7, so I'm going to subtract 7. Look where I put the 7. Put it underneath the 8, which those are my like terms. So I get y equals 4x, and then 8 minus 7 is 1. All right, so I go over here to Delta Math. Y equals 4x plus 1. Submit my answer, and I got my green check. Okay, now you can see here in Delta Math that the first step is the same. So even though I do the problem, my second step differently, the first step is the same. Okay, I find my slope. Okay, they use what's called slope-intercept form to solve the problem. We use point slope form. Okay, and you need to practice with this method. This is my preferred method. Okay, all right. Okay, so hopefully that helps. I'll record one more video with another example in it, so that way you've got lots of things to reference. Okay, good luck.